This is an interesting question. What's revolutionary about SANsymphony-V is nothing, which is an interesting take on the question. It's got a grain of truth in it, to that answer. 10 years ago, when this virtualization movement started, none of the players, and we knew almost all of them, none of the players, none of the commentators, none of the architects really knew what the issues were going to be. The idea was storage control has to move to software, has to be removed one or two layers from the physical devices themselves, from configuration and from the infrastructure, and move to a world in which hardware abstractions were the basis of architectures that were created. This is very important, because the minute you're dealing with physical hardware and paths and so on, any optimizations, any direction that you try to give to the architecture is immediately bound by 1,000 anchors. So everyone knows how we got here. What was going to be a problem and what wasn't, what the hardware was going to look like, what the platforms were going to look like, what the applications were going to look like, wasn't known 12 years ago. So we covered a lot of turf. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm really proud of what we did. And our survival today is because we guessed right on many areas. But you rarely get a chance to review your work in light of your customer's experience and the experience of the industry over a 10-year period of time, and to rethink it from what was once a gleam in my eye to a real industry with a real progression that's by now influenced every single platform and every single piece of gear that's been built. So for us, SANsymphony-V was an opportunity to do that, and to do it in a very comprehensive way. That exercise began for us 2 years ago. We're in the data storage business, and while some people call us storage management and other people call us something else, our competitors call us all kinds of something else. In truth, what we do is very important because people trust us with their data. So about 2 years ago, we set out to change the underlying platform. The objectives were to simplify the platform, to streamline it, and to set the stage for a lot of what the original promise of virtualization was and is finally beginning to come to market, a very complete abstraction. Also, to begin to simplify the installation, configuration, most importantly the reconfiguration of such systems. So component by component, subsystem by subsystem, we started 2 years ago in our releases to introduce a new platform. That platform was essentially complete in the last major release, except for the fact that it was still driven by a set of interfaces that dated from a long time ago. So you have a new platform, you get some of the risk out of the equation. Introducing it incrementally helps that a lot, but what you haven't done is taken advantage of it yet. SANsymphony-V is the next to last step in that evolution, when an entirely new set of interfaces, up-to-date interfaces, an entirely new set of automation features, which allow us to do what used to be done manually, used to require training, etc., are brought onto that platform, which by now has been completely swapped out, and you have 100% new software. Right now, I'm feeling pretty good about this transition for us because the platform change has so far happened fairly seamlessly. Now we change the interfaces. What's changed? Nothing. We have simpler, more automated, cleaner interfaces to a transition that's already happened. What's changed? Everything. Because by changing out the interfaces control what we were able to do with our platform. So even though we've been introducing this platform in pieces for 2 years, none of what it can really do has been on show, visible, until the new interfaces come into effect. Based on SANsymphony-V, watch DataCore. Watch us. Because there's a whole bunch of stuff that was hand-waving and smoke and mirrors 10 years ago when storage virtualization came onto the scene. It wasn't meant to fog up the environment. It was ideas that a whole lot of smart people had on how to streamline storage and how to use storage to fulfill a whole bunch of requirements that users had. A lot of things seemed plausible, but how to do it, when to do it, what the implications of doing it were relatively unknown. Now we know, and we got a platform that can do it. We were talking only a few weeks ago about new architecture for VDI, and a fairly revolutionary one, how to scale it. This is the benefit of SANsymphony-V, the underlying platform change. Could have done it with the old platform, would have had to jump through some hoops. It's natural with the new software. We're pretty pleased with it. But most importantly, we see the new software as being trampoline from which to launch ourselves into a whole bunch of areas that users certainly need, that we certainly intended to address, but which the pressures of the commercial marketplace itself and the unknowns of it have a way of derailing you, have a way of diverting you into other issues. This is everyone's lamentation, the computer industry. I was going to cure cancer, I ended up working on warts. But through sheer luck and providence, DataCore's got a shot to do this now, and we plan on going through the eye of the needle.